Hello everybody, hope you're doing well. I'm going to make this video before I have a thunderstorm, and this topic has been on my mind for quite a while and I get asked a lot of questions about it. And there's a lot of interpretations that people give this word called intuition. So honestly, you'll have many who have called it psychic, like the psychic abilities. And then you'll have those that'll say, oh no, that's dark. Use the word prophetic and intuition. They're all the exact same thing. They're all the exact same thing. So the definition, and I had to look this up. So the psychological definition of intuition is immediate insight or perception contracted with conscious reasoning, mystical feeling, so on. The regular dictionary says intuition is the ability to understand something immediately without the need for conscious reasoning. What's the difference between discernment and intuition? Is that discernment is the ability to distinguish judgment, while intuition is immediately cognitive without the use of conscious, rational process. So what's the common denominator? It's an immediate thought, an immediate feeling, right? Without going back and going through critical thinking and overthinking and analyzing it in the left brain. So many will call it their gut instincts. Many will call it empathic feelings. Many will call it an inner knowing. And many don't call it anything. They're just used to having it and live by it, like me, since I was a child. So my definition, I had to think about it for just 2 seconds, actually. And I said, my definition of intuition is that it's a God spark, and it's connected to you through your higher self. And your higher self is the closest in physical proximity to you in a long line of many guardians connected to all that is, the creator source. So if you look like a Russian doll, if you look at that, you don't look like a Russian doll. Looking at the Russian doll example, there's a larger one, and then there's all these little ones, right? Going all the way down to yourself. But really, it's the other way around, because you're the human conduit for all these connections going all the way up to the greater source of all that is. It doesn't mean that the creator source, the divine, the God, whatever you want to call it, is the biggest thing. I mean, it is the biggest thing, but it's not necessarily the biggest thing when it comes to your divine connection that anchors through your body and into the core of Mother Earth, that you're always connected. You have guardians that are in Mother Earth that are working with you as well. So it doesn't mean that this higher self is this little or big Russian doll, like whatever. It's just the closest to you in proximity is what I call the higher self. And it's where I tap into naturally, but when I want to get answers about something or I'm getting messages, it filters through all these guardianships and then comes out the higher self, which is me. It's all me, right? So we're taught that never go with that gut instinct to, again, fill yourself with the ego part of the critical thinking and the analyzing and the overthinking and then tossing it out as an imaginary thought or feeling that you had. And quite honestly, it's the most powerful feeling that you can actually have and use to maneuver through your life. And you all have it. Everybody has it. It's in us. It's how we're raised or the environment around us or things that gets shut down and squelched, and it isn't valued. It isn't valued. So therefore you put it aside and then you live off of the analytical, critical thinking side of your mind. And that's the ego entrapment, that you aren't as valuable as that is, when that is BS, just so you know. So anytime you have a decision that you have to make, right? Very rarely do we ever make them on our own. We talk to somebody else about it. We might get therapy about it. We might, pray and meditate about it. But we're always looking to make sure that we've made the right choice. Now, in some situations, that's very important, but it's going to always come down to the intuition of the choice that you make unless you override it. And there still will be a little piece of you that thinks you should have gone this way or had this choice or this decision in that process. Through my own life, whenever I've overridden that feeling that has absolutely no words to it, it has no words in any vocabulary, in any language to it. It's an indescribable feeling, an inner knowing. That's your God spark. That's your higher self. That's your direct line with Source. Source is everything, including Mother Earth, all the other planets. It's everything. Just think of it like air. It goes everywhere. You don't see it, but it penetrates everything. So those who practice living in their intuition develop and hone a skill. And then they do not make a lot of decisions unless they've tapped in. That takes courage. But if you want to develop it, you got to play. You got to play with it. And those who are empathic, that's a gift, but it's also, it just means you're processing with your feeling energy body hitting into your physical energy body. And it can be very tough for people because they don't know how to handle all of that or filter it. So it becomes a powerful tool. So they either shut it down or they're picking up everybody else's stuff, and they think that's a badge of honor, and it's not. It's not at all. It takes courage to own your empathicness. It takes courage to own your intuition, prophetic, psychic. I don't care what you call it. I don't like names. I think I've said that a million gazillion times. You came in here with billions of other people to be the strongest individual in those crowds and collective part of the individuals. And if you don't own who you are and start working with who you are independently of everybody else's programming around you, you're not going to be as successful at achieving all the things and the desires that you want if you don't surrender and learn how to handle empathic and intuition and develop that part of yourself and make it fun. It's a game. It's truly a game. There are no wrong and rights. It's all lessons. Data entry, data out. Data entry, data out. Data entry, data out. Don't allow yourself to think, oh, I should have made a different decision. No, you made that decision. And guess what? Maybe you wouldn't make the same decision, but you learned from that decision. So take it all as a learning lesson. Get off beating yourself up. That's the old coulda, shoulda, woulda paradigm that will literally leak the vital life force out of you and create this fear and non-trust of thyself. So I just want to beat that into people sometimes, but I can't. So I have to be a living, walking mentor of that for those that I'm around, and then go with it from there, right? And sometimes if you have a really big decision to make or things are going on, I'll tap into other healers, other people in the realm of whatever you want to call it, and it gives me confirmation of where I was going and how it felt. So you don't doubt. So the more you play with it and tap into it and work with people on it and get in groups and do things, the more you'll find that there's a lot of sacred wisdom and knowledge within all of everything. So make up your own definition, like I did. Have fun with it. Just don't get yourself in a category. Don't get boxed in. Because you're the one that has to give that permission to allow that to occur. Because you have a need to fit in with other people, but maybe they're looking for someone else maybe to do what they need to do so that they can have the courage to step out of their crap hole. I don't know. But if you need any coaching or healing work or things that help you hone in on some skills you've got and develop some more, I'm here for you. It's my honor. It's my honor. The email is always in the description. So have an awesome rest of the day and tap in. Tap in. You got this.